Yeah, the schedule is as tough as always. We open up with three non-conference but huge region games: Mars Hill, Limestone and Rollins, all on the road, and 3 wins there would put us in a really good position in the region. With 3 losses, it would put you in a really tough position. So they're huge games, but with the season being so short, it feels like we're losing a week on both ends. Seems like every other year NCA are killing us, but with it being so short, there's no room for preparation games. But it's the same for everybody. It's their opening games as well, and I think if we can get off to a good start at Mars Hill, Limestone, Rollins, if we could get 2 wins out of those 3, I'd take it right now. But they're going to be great. And then we jumped into the conference, and Francis Marion, the conference games come nearly every Saturday, Wednesday once the season starts. And Francis Marion, and then Anderson, who won their conference last year, and then Clayton State, and then Florida Southern from the Sunshine State, and then Young Harris. I mean, there isn't an easy game in that whole lot. So every game's going to be a battle, and I've always said this, that with the schedule that I set, if we're on the right side of 500, we're having a strong season, and thankfully in the last few years we've been well on the right side of 500. But they're all very tough games against good programs, so it doesn't get any easier. We've got Embry Riddle and Lindsay Wilson, 2 NAI teams, but they're 2 of the best NAI teams in there. We've Coker, and it's just going to be a big schedule. So hopefully we'll be up there again, but it's going to take a huge effort in every game. I think the Peach Belt has turned out to be one of men's soccer's strongest Division 2 conferences now. It really is. Every game's a battle. The teams who have maybe traditionally not done as well are huge games, and we've got a lot of teams growing in reputation. Young Harris, Pembroke, Aiken, to add to the traditionally strong ones. Montebello, Clayton State, Landers, probably leaving someone out, but it's going to be tough, and I think the teams that finished in the top 4 in the Peach Belt will be as good as any teams in the country. Yeah, when you get those pre-season rankings, they're kind of one final tribute to last year's team, and it's really nice and it's great, and I'd rather be in the top 10 than not in the top 10. But it really doesn't mean a whole lot, and it won't be something we'll dwell on. We will want to improve on it, and it's great to be there. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy about it. But it does put a target on your back as well. With those first games, you've got Mars Hill going, well, we're going to get to play the 10th ranked team in the country, and it does put a target on that. But that's something that we're learning to play with. We've had it for the last 2 or 3 years, thankfully, and hopefully we'll always have it. So we're happy to have it. It doesn't mean a whole lot. It is a final tribute to last year's team and how well they did. Yeah, on just the returners, we've got Camp coming back. It's been a 2-year starter. He was, he was a hero last year. He had a lot of injury problems. We didn't have too much depth in the goalkeeper position, and he played absolutely superbly. Probably not quite as strong as his freshman year, but I completely attribute that to the injuries he was carrying, and he couldn't get the training in and the reps in that he would like. But he's a phenomenal goalkeeper, and I think he's going to do great. And we've got Josiah Holtz coming in behind him, who's going to push him all the way. And right now, I think that's going to be a ding-dong battle as to which of them comes out on top. But there are 2 really good goalkeepers, which is a great problem to have. Yeah, going through last year's team, we've got Keno back, Kevin Keenan back. He's been the sweeper first, and he's a good leader back there, and gives us great drive and great momentum coming out of the back. He's coming off a season playing up in Erie, and I think he'll be eager to go, and he'll lead the back, and he's a good talker and a good motivator. Always gives 100%, and I appreciate that from him. We do lose our 2 fullbacks. We lose Nick Duncan and Adam Jackson to graduation. They're going to be huge losses. They've both been starters for most of their career, so there's a big opening for people to jump in. So hopefully some of the guys who've been on the fringes step up. Craig Riley's going to probably step in there. He's going to be a senior. He's the hardest working player in the team. He's a phenomenal pace, and I expect good things from him this season. And I think the other positions will probably be resolved during pre-season. back goes in midfield, I expect our Bermuda double to have a big influence. Tristan Hall and Marco Warren, two gifted footballers, very different in their stature and in their play, but both very good. And I expect them to give us a good job. We bring back Erland Lufgard, who has a year of experience, and Erland had a great freshman year. And so I think the battle for those central spots will probably be in those three battling for the two spots. On the wings, it's going to be a little bit different. I think Stephen Pratt will give us a good shout on the right hand side. On the left, I think it's wide open as to who it can be. Marco Padilla is the returning left footer, and he's got a great eye for goal, and I think he'll do a good job. But I think we have some young guys that are going to be really pushing for those outside positions as well. Up front, probably our most experienced, we've got Zach Shanahan and Johnny Cosgrove, and they're going to do great. Gene Vega, who came on in leaps and bounds this spring, really was probably the most pleasing part of the spring was Gene. He got injured at the end, but I think there's three guys with great experience there that are going to really have a battle for those spots, and up front maybe our strongest line. Yeah, the newcomers, you never want to. I know all the coaches will be checking this out, and we don't want to give them too much information, but they're going to be really good. I have a couple of guys that I think will start for us. They'll come in. I'll leave it to them to do their homework to find out who. But I think there's possibly four that will real chances to start, and if not, some really good minutes off the bench right off the bat. And you never know. I've been wrong before. Guys that I thought would start didn't, and guys who I thought wouldn't earn a starting spot. Until that's a question for maybe 2 weeks from now, when I've been working with them for a while and really get to know them. You do your best in the recruiting phase, but until you're on the field and in the trenches with them, you don't know what they're going to give you. And